Hello and welcome to Nintendo Voice, your voice for everything Nintendo. This is episode 130, recorded on the 6th of March, 2018. My name is Harrison Milfeld, and here to talk with me about Nintendo, we have Colin Crompton.
Hey, it's me again. Hello, everybody. How are you?
Good. And for the second week, everybody, Lewis is not here. He is still in vacation in Bulgaria, although he is sending some very interesting photos, both on his Twitter feed and Facebook feed, testing out the limits of, I'm assuming... Well, not assuming, he's given evidence right there, is that he actually did take his Switch out on the slopes.
Yes, he's kind of like temperature stressing it, I guess. See how it handles the cold temperatures. Yeah, interesting. But I'm glad he's having a good time.
Oh, no, he really is, and I'm glad that he needs time away up here from us, whatever to deal, so, but when it comes to things like this, we're just, happy to have just to help him out in the long run. So
that's right.
But we do have quite the show going on today. Starting out, we have only what we've been playing and just Nintendo news. We unfortunately do not have a feature or any super topics for this week. Although, do we have one last one that we're saving until Lewis gets back? So be sure to check that out for next week's episode. But start off though, we're gonna do with what we've been playing. But I personally don't have anything on my end right now that I'm playing just this moment, but Colin,
yeah,
you have finally received your shiny new Nintendo Switch.
I did. So we had a spout of bad weather over in the UK, so my Switch got delayed by a few days.
When was it supposed to arrive?
It was meant to arrive last Wednesday, but we were completely snowed over. So it ended up arriving the following Friday. So it's not the end of the world. So yeah, I got my Switch, unboxed it and everything. Played it, I've tested it out, I've played a few games. Console itself is a remarkable machine, it really is. The best thing about the Switch, I can say, is it feels like the realization of what the Wii U gamepad was meant to be. It feels great in the hands to hold, it feels great to play, although I will say the Joy-Cons are not my favorite controllers to use. I am planning on getting a Pro controller. I don't have one yet, but the actual Joy-Cons are a bit... they're not the worst thing to use. I just don't find them overly comfortable.
They can be, for anybody who actually starts with something like that, it's very kind of cumbersome a little bit, because I like, again, the whole idea of like, hey, take these little form of controllers out and to hand them to somebody else, like, it just depends on the type of a game when you're using. It's just when you have something, it's quite cramped. I'll give you that.
Yeah, I can kind of see them come out like a version 2, a Mark II version of the Joy-Cons at some point. But honestly, to me, like some of the worst things, like so the Switch comes with this, the little hollow controller, the grip.
The grip.
Yeah, horrible. I don't like playing games using the grip.
See, I got accustomed to that when I was playing with Zelda a bit, but once I got my Pro Controller, I never really went back. But again, it's nice to actually have something like there. My one complaint, though, I think that many have had, is that it's just a shell. As really is. There's no way to actually charge the Joy-Cons in there, so you have to get something separate.
Yeah, in fact, you can buy a rechargeable version, but it's kind of pricey. Like most things on the Switch are kind of pricey, I will say that. But yeah, the other thing about the Switch I don't quite like, the dock feels very flimsy to me. It feels very subpar quality-wise. I am scared that I'm going to crush it at some point, because it's just hollow plastic, really, what it is. Yeah, I don't know. Like build quality, I feel like the Switch itself really sturdy, but the dock just feels cheap to me.
Well, knowing it's a bit of a I wouldn't say that as a shell, whatever. Knowing that you're just getting, like, when you look at something like it, that thing actually does give a little bit more performance to what you see on screen, reportedly, whether it's in docked or undocked mode. But yes, it is kind of a little bit disappointing when I was at first. I'm like, oh, there's not much to be in there or whatever. But still, it's, it's the whole concept of the fact of, like, in and out type of, like, gameplay with the TV, whether it's on the TV or onto the go.
Right.
But did you at least get a screen protector, though?
Oh, that was the very first thing I got. As soon as I knew I was getting a Switch, I went out and ordered some screen protectors, because I know the dock is notorious for scratching the screen.
Did you get a tempered glass or
tempered glass?
Okay, good.
Yeah, because I read up about it and I was like, oh, you can get this cheap screen protector, and people were like, no, they don't work. I was like, okay, I'm going to put some money into a decent screen protector. kind of interesting choice because instead I went with a plastic screen, and I understand why because it's cheaper, but of course it scratches. So yeah, I mean, I'm glad I got that out of the way. As for games I've been playing, so I currently own 3 games, 2 physical, 1 download. So 2 physical games are LA Noire and Super Mario Odyssey. So I'm going to go through those. LA Noire is a really good port of LA Noire, which is a game that's like, I think it came out originally like 2011 maybe?
2010, 2011, but it was in development for a long while before that.
Yeah, it was. I mean, purely because of like the face scan technology and all that. It was kind of ahead of its time.
Oh, yeah, it was impressive. It really was.
It looked amazing. I don't think it financially did too well for them, but yeah, no, great port. Really good port. They've kind of dumbed it down a little bit though, when it comes to the interrogation scenes. So in the original game, you got given 3 options of, I believe it was true. Like you can be talking to a suspect. It was truth, it was doubt, or lie. I believe those are the 3 options you're given. In the Switch version, it's good cop, bad cop, accuse. So it's the same options, but they just renamed them for some reason. And it just feels kind of odd, like, I'm a good cop, I'm a bad cop. Yeah, game runs super smooth. I haven't encountered any issues with it. It has all the extra bits of content all DLC they had for the game before. As well, it says on the back of the case there's some new stuff in the game, but they don't really quite specify what. I'm not quite sure if it's like extra collectibles or things like that. But yeah, silky smooth, great in portable mode. It's a great portable game. You won't think it, but it really is.
It's definitely not probably one of the titles that I would have gotten from Rockstar's library to come to the Switch, but still. When they announced that initially, it actually was coming to Switch a while back, like about back in the fall. There was at least a bit of a vocal minority of people who really, were a little bit disappointed in seeing it. Not because of necessarily they hated the game, but I think it was something they just didn't feel like revisiting it and felt that there was other options to put on there, especially like GTA, for instance. But
I would have Red Dead. I would love Red Dead Redemption to be on the Switch. That would have been amazing. Amazing overall experience. But yeah, so that's an Noir. Great game. The other game I'm playing, the other physical game I own, is Super Mario Odyssey. Yeah. So
how many hours are you into that one right now?
Hour-wise, I mean, 4 or 5. I'm currently at 98 moons, which isn't too bad.
Okay.
Well, I will say, like,
have you gotten the New Donk City yet?
Yes, I've just cleared New Donk City.
Yeah. Did you at least go through the New Donk City Festival? Because if there's one moment in Mario Odyssey that gets me just smiling to end, it is that sequence.
Honestly, like, because I had no idea it was coming, and then I was like, "Oh, this is interesting." Blew me away. That whole sequence blew me away. It's just that one part, that one section, is probably my favorite segment of a 3D Mario game that I've played. That being said, Mario Odyssey has, I don't want to say disappointing. It's not the worst 3D Mario game that I've played, but I don't think it's the best one that I've played. I don't think it's as creative as something like Sunshine or even Super Mario 64. I feel like some of the levels I went through, like I'm blanking on the name. The forest area with the robots.
The
Wooded Kingdom, I believe.
Wooden Kingdom, I believe. I think that's what it is.
I felt like it was kind of bland. I was like, this is just kind of a basic level.
It really, well, I will say though that kingdom, at least I think it's that same one, does give me probably one of my favorite boss fights of the game, where you were controlling like the little and again I named this right when we talked about Odyssey back in the fall, and I'm blanking on where you have to basically use its little stretchy legs, whatever, to go underneath the boss. To like that, to me, that's like one of my favorite moments. Like that's the thing that really makes me happy, like playing through the entire game, is that it could be just this useless gimmick of just using Cappy to capture like different enemies, but it opens up new opportunities to use like whether like, oh, those Hammer Bros that basically give me too much hard of a time. Oh, I have the power now, or
I kind of feel like that's a little bit of a crutch though. Like they do rely on the cap powers a lot in this game. I understand it's a new thing; it's the new exciting thing that's in the game, but it's like any problem, throw the cap at it. The cap will solve it for you. And yeah, there's a lot of that in this game.
But I think the discovery though of that is probably the like at least the fun part of that. Is like I had a friend of mine who recently bought Odyssey, and he wasn't sure if you could capture a bullet bill because he went in completely blind and he just threw his hat just willy nilly, and next thing you know it, he sucked into the bullet bill and he's like, his eyes widen up. You're like, really, I can control this. But it's I mean, even though you have these capture abilities, though, they don't sacrifice Mario's moveset without them, because if there's one thing I really like about this is Mario is a little bit more acrobatic than he has been before, especially with the cap toss.
I go with that, yeah. No, yeah, definitely. He's very agile, which is it's a nice little change. But yeah, overall, honestly, it's a good game. I'm not saying it's a bad game in any way. It just doesn't. My personal favorite 3D Mario game is Super Mario Sunshine. Which is not a popular opinion on where people are like,
it's I'm with you. I mean, it may not be my favorite, but I if people like it, certainly love it as their favorite. That you be you. That's me.
No, that's right. But yeah, no, honestly, it's good. So and I said that New Donk City, that whole level really, I really enjoyed. This is one of the best levels I've played in a Mario game. The size of it, like the freedom you have in it, and the whole festival sequence blew away. It was great. So my one downloaded game that I have is Stardew Valley. I just kind of wanted to throw it on the Switch, see how it performed, and I knew it was going to play well because it's Stardew Valley. I played it before. Great game. I kind of wanted it because it'd be a great portable game. If I'm stuck on a train journey or something, Stardew Valley. Yeah, it's Stardew Valley. Stardew Valley is a great game. It's basically the successor to Harvest Moon. Yeah, I don't much to do. I've always spoken about Stardew Valley before, but it's fun, and it works really well on Switch.
Oh yeah, and for something that's and it's perfect for especially a device like that that's on handheld too. So yeah, there's nothing wrong with that, whatever. But it seems like you're having a very good time with your Switch though at the point right now, and it's now going to probably. I mean, has this at least taken time away from playing Monster Hunter World, or is it just getting more equal time for you?
I haven't played Monster Hunter World in like 2 weeks, so
since beating it, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, I've pretty much done that game. I'm waiting for it to release the new content, but that'll take a long time. So yeah, Switch. It's all hands on Switch right now. Yeah, it's awesome. It really is.
Well, that's good. That's good to actually hear there for you, Colin, because as soon as you announced that you got this and you were sending out your friend codes, I eagerly waited for you to get me on, add me on there. And of course, yeah, there's one thing that we do agree that needs to change is the friend code system, but that's beating a dead horse at this point.
It's a good dead horse to beat though. God damn, they should change it.
Yeah, but I assume you got plenty of friends already added right now too.
Oh,
correct?
Plenty, loads. I'm glad you can migrate them from your Wii U as well. So a lot of Wii U friends.
That's how you added me. That's how you added me at first.
That's right. Yeah, yeah, that's good. I also like the simplicity of the OS. I just want to say that the whole system is so simple. It starts up real quick. Like the Wii U was great, but its operating system was a mess.
Yeah, people turning on, I've had people saying that they dreaded turning that console on because of how slow it could be. And trust me, even the first update before the initial update to make it faster that we saw was just beyond dreadful. See,
the thing is, I didn't get to experience that, so that would have thrown me off even more. I didn't get Wii until later. So
you want to wait I had to wait at least 3 hours for a good system update for this one. That's how bad it was.
Wow. Yeah, no, that's crazy. I remember the people complain about the original Wii U operators way back before it was updated. It's like, oh yeah, it takes like 30 seconds to get from one thing to the next. I'm like 30 seconds? It doesn't sound like a long time, but then when you actually wait for something to happen, it feels like a long time, getting from screen to screen. But yeah, no, Switch is real quick, real snappy. It's got a bright future ahead of it. I will say it has a bright future ahead of it.
Oh yeah, great. I mean, with a good lineup of games right now, but even though I think probably the more thing you'll learn, probably get into it as much as you like it, you will see some things onto it that you wish could be a little bit better on there. I know, but that's hopeful with an update. That's hopeful, if getting your hopes up if the system update happens, because of course, I mean, we'll have more to talk about that probably later on. So, but that's all you have though on what you've been playing.
That's pretty much all I have. Yep.
Wow, Colin, like you heard it here first. Colin has a Switch in his hands right now, and he likes it.
Yeah.
So
It is good.
Yes, that's Colin's stamp of approval. Good. So now we are going to move into the Nintendo news and possibly our final segment of the day. This is going to be a bit of a fairly short show, but still we have enough to get through in the news lineup here. And our first bit of news comes from a report from Eurogamer, and it revolves around Blizzard Diablo 3 possibly coming to the Switch. Now, this was kind of brewing for a while from a non-tease. It seemed like Blizzard Entertainment had put out a tweet back on the 28th of February, which the title of the tweet was Sweet Dreams, and of course it had the Diablo figurine that was a nightlight into a port switch. So everybody was like, does this mean that they are hinting at a Switch port? Which I think everybody read way too much into it, because when I saw it, I'm like, I don't think that's what they're saying. I think it's just a nightlight. It's just a nightlight. That's really what it is. So, but yeah, but now that might actually be coming true to this point, and this would probably be the first Blizzard title to actually grace, the Nintendo Switch. Well, to let me rewrite like during the whole tweet that they said, Blizzard did say, in quote, "We can assure you we're not that clever in terms of like the tweet." So so yeah, even they announced, if we're gonna be that, we're not that clever. But Eurogamer is reporting right now that its own sources have informed that, yes, Diablo is coming to the Switch, and specifically it will be a port of Diablo 3 that will make its way to the Nintendo Switch. Now, this doesn't include whether it's Diablo 3's Reaper of Souls or Rise of the Necromancer expansions would be included in this port, and neither does it mention a release date. So, but also, it's telling on here, Eurogamer says that official announcement is still months away. So, I'm a big fan of Diablo 2. I never did play Diablo 3. Perchance, but I've had friends who have been like half and half on it. So, what about you? You a big fan? Were you ever a big fan of Diablo 2?
I'm not really a Diablo fan at all. I did play Diablo 2. And I thought it was okay. I didn't really get too much into it. This is great news though. I mean, because people keep saying like Diablo. I've heard from friends Diablo 3. Oh, it's the best one in the series. Oh, it's not better than Diablo 2, but things like that. I've heard mixed as well, but. If this comes to the Switch, it'll be huge for the Switch. I think it's perfect for the Switch, because Diablo is one of those games you can just pick up and play for a bit, and then put it back down. So for me, for the Switch, that's perfect. I think it's good news if it's true. I think if it is.
If it is, I mean, it's again. There's one thing getting trying to read tea leaves. It seems like with a Blizzard tweet, where it turns out even at my first glance, I'm like, okay. The idea of like possible Switch, like this isn't like Platinum Games tweeting out imagery of like Bayonetta and the team from Wonderworld 101 with their Switches, for instance, where it's like, okay, when there's smoke, there's fire. But where in the case of Eurogamer, it's like there may be a chance. So, and this would actually be. I was trying to look this up beforehand while reading the port. I was like, what was the last time a Blizzard game made it to a Nintendo console? And I believe that was StarCraft on the Nintendo 64, and that was back in 2000.
Oh, really? Wow. Whoa,
but
okay.
Yeah, and technically, and then do you remember when StarCraft Ghost was in development? And that of course that was like long often delayed during the GameCube era. It was going to be on the GameCube, Xbox, the PlayStation 2, and PC, and it just got often delayed, and it was just quietly canned. I remember keeping an eye on that one, and I was like, I don't know. I never knew what. Just to me, I was disappointed at the time in my teen years that it got canned. But I think just knowing from its tumultuous development cycle, it realized maybe this thing is nowhere near saving.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it'd be nice to see this back. It's kind of cool to see more third parties just gathering towards the Switch. I mean, to me, the biggest third party to have on the Switch right now. It's like Bethesda. I think when Bethesda said they were like, "Well, we're behind the Switch," I'm like, "Really? That's a good sign usually." I'll be happy for Blizzard to be like, "Yeah, we are doing Diablo 3," and if it is the one with I think Law of Averages kind of states it would be like a definitive edition of Diablo 3, given the game's age. I kind of feel they would do it. Like it has all the expansions, just play it. So good news, I think.
Yeah, I know. I mean, anything for like announcements like this, even if it doesn't really excite me as much, I know that there's an audience out there that does want it, and as long as I may not be huge on Call of Duty. I know this is a very odd comparison. Like, is that if I know I may not be huge on Call of Duty games, but I know there's an audience out there to have them, and if you want to sell some units, that's going to be the case. It just depends on how good the port is. But
just don't release a port of Call of Duty like 8 months after the previous. I think it was on the Wii. Like it's called Reflex Edition or something.
Yeah, I remember that one.
It came out like forever after like the original game. Yeah, don't do that. That's bad. Yeah.
Yeah, that was not particularly fun. Moving on, though, My Nintendo is now implementing changes that have now gone officially live yesterday.
Ooh.
And this, of course, is to how you will be earning points. Now, as everybody knows, the main way that actually been getting like points through My Nintendo is either through digital purchases or through physical, as in, well, in the case of the Switch, to be exactly, like, and I hope you noticed, if you have a physical game card in there, you can press the plus button, whatever, like, while on the game icon on the home screen, where you can redeem a small amount of Nintendo, like, My Nintendo Gold points, which, of course, are not the same amount if you were to buy the game digitally. Now, this new program has been announced last month, and of course, Nintendo also promised that Switch rewards would be coming to the day as well. It's been long since then. We've been trying to figure out what are these Switch rewards going to be. But the new program, though, it's all based on the coin system, gold coin system. So for anybody who would be purchasing digital software on all systems, okay. I have the system right here because this is how confusing it is right now. Because my general thought is that it's kind of a step up, but then you realize it's still just not quite there.
Yeah.
Now, basically what it's saying is for any bit, like, you'll be earning about 5% back on digital purchases, whereas in physical editions, you'll be earning 1%. So essentially, the conversion rate for, like, okay, gold coin, this means that gold coins can be used to make game purchases online on the eShop. So you're not relegated to what's available on the My Nintendo website and its rewards.
Which is good. That's really good.
Which is fine. Now, the conversion rate is 1 coin equals either 1 pence or whatever is your guys. What's your guys' equivalent to 1 cent?
Yeah, it's just 1 pence, 1 penny.
1 pence.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So 1 pence, 1 penny, or 1 yen. Now, existing gold.
That currency exchange doesn't quite work.
Well, no. This is essentially just telling you right now that and I have a bit of the tweets actually to get up here, and I'm about to sneeze here, but it's just wow, this is bad doing the podcast by yourself because you're actually sorry.
There you go. Fire away, man.
Fire away. Nope, never mind. We got that good.
Good.
But so essentially, though, I have 235 gold coins right now. That would essentially translate to $2.35 on the eShop. Okay. Now, looking though back, I have a swath of platinum coins. Of course, the implementation of that is pretty wise when you're using through daily things like logging onto the eShop, or when Miiverse was up, logging onto the Miiverse once a week, or answering a survey here and there, or even using different challenges like in Fire Emblem Heroes, Miitomo, Super Mario Run, Animal Crossing Pocket Camp. These were very easily to get these in huge amounts, but these of course would not be used on many different type of purchases. But the purchases being that, well, some would be wallpapers or added additions probably you would have for your mobile games. Of course, yes, some of these could be used for physical games. It's just I think what I'm getting right now is this gold system really, it's a step up, but it still kind of makes you think did we really have a perfect system, a better system with Club Nintendo though?
Yeah, exactly right. I mean, it's because before, 40 gold coins, I think I got Metroid Fusion with 40 gold coins. So if you take that into the current system we've got now, I got Metroid Fusion for 40p, which is ridiculously cheap. It feels like they devalued the gold coins quite a bit in this, but I do like the way they're doing it, especially with the physical cartridge. You can redeem currency off physical cartridge, which is great because I prefer physical games.
Oh yeah, and that's what I would do during the tail end of the. That's what I did on the tail end of when I was in the Wii U. Is you know what? I'm just gonna most of the time I'm just gonna be buying digital prices so I can actually get most of these things. It's just again the problem that we had with My Nintendo though is the majority of the rewards either aren't that good or
Yeah.
the rewards themselves don't really get that much of an offer, for instance. And plus, it doesn't really help that majority of the games on there are either own or some I just don't have no interest in. And again,
Right.
that's just me because the reason being is because it's just we buy these products so much. Now, I always feel like that. I suggested something like, platinum coins should be used for like small discounts, like a 5% off or 10% off. Whereas gold coins, it should go up to upwards of somewhere like at least 40 or 50% half off, or even more, depending on how long the game's been out. Now, again, everybody loved Club Nintendo for the physical rewards. I did too. I really did. Like I had a Super Mario pin set that I liked, and I had a pack of Hanafuda cards. And of course, I missed out on the whole Mario and Friends statuette that is actually pictured right here. If I can show you, or no, it's not on here, unfortunately. But I had that. I almost had a chance to get that, but I didn't get enough coins in time to be platinum member for that year. So I don't know. It's just like I like the incentive of what it did, but also it helped out near the end of my Nintendo's run that I was able to, hey, they went all out on their rewards. That's how I got Kid Icarus Uprising, and that's how I got a bunch of these different games. It's just, but the thing is, it's like this system now they're implementing. It's unless you let's just say right for like I'm reading this as somebody on Twitter had pointed out, you would essentially have to spend $1,200 on digital games in order to have enough gold points to redeem one free full price game. That's $1,200 in a 12-month period. So,
yeah.
Unless they increase this sort of, I mean, again, well, what I could say is, basically what I could say is $60 purchase is going to give you 300 coins. That's $3. Okay, that's not bad. That's not bad to it, whatever. But it does incentivize, like, even for the hardcore fans out there, you have to be spending a lot of money for this.
Yeah, of course. I mean, but isn't that the whole point of this like reward system in place to basically make you want to buy that? But it's kind of a smart thing by Nintendo to make you want to spend money to get. Because in your head you're thinking, I'm going to get something back from buying this game on the eShop or whatever, The only question I do have is, does this, like, if you buy a pre-owned game and it hasn't been redeemed on someone else's Switch, do you still get the 1%? Bonus then?
Yeah,
so,
you do. Yeah, if it's not redeemed.
So later down the line, because this happens all the time, where games get reduced down to like $5 or £5 or whatever, it's like you're not getting that such a bad deal out of that. If they haven't been redeemed, it's work out. But in the future, it's gonna be great in the future.
I distinctly remember with the My Nintendo system when it was nearing its end. I had a friend of mine who never used the system, and he had a bunch of physical copies of 3DS games, and I said, "Hey, are you using any of these pamphlets or these codes?" No, good. Yeah. And I just raked up like 4 or 5 of them. Did the stupid surveys, and then there we go. All those points were like coming to me. I was like, "Yep, I like it." Yeah. So,
yeah, I mean, it's a nice little thing, but
I don't know. Yeah. To me, it's this whole world that Nintendo. I know they're trying to embrace this whole online connectivity that they want in their whole brand. This is just one of those other instances where I feel like they just kind of, here's a step forward and then there's 2 steps back. It's just you have this, what they have here right now where it allocates like, hey, these are the game purchases that you have, and here's basically straight to this in the if you buy them digital, it goes straight to your like the little bank, it goes straight to your gold coin bank account, whatever. Yeah. But it's just what they're trying to, the percentage wise of what they're giving you back. And what they're trying to offer in rewards that I think need to be better. Now, I don't know. This could all change, probably.
It'll be adjusted. I'm sure it will be. But yeah, at the moment, it does feel like a little bit of a like really. I get a small amount back. The amount you get back is tiny compared to. But again, it's all money off games that you wouldn't get otherwise. So can't really complain. But you can, because it's not great. It needs work, basically. Yeah. But
yeah, I mean, it's a bit of a hot. I say it's a hot mess. It's really all I can say. But I'm still going to allocate my funds, even though it's those only last about a year. That's you know, if they didn't have the fact like where you restrict you to have how long like they last, like gold coins, or give it a little longer, I'd be a little bit less ticked, but still, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's a matter of
that time limit's kind of pushes the issue. But yeah, I agree.
But moving under to at least more somewhat uplifting news. Mario is apparently now a plumber again. Now, why do I say that? Is that about a while back on Nintendo's like official bio, I think it was like Nintendo's Japanese Nintendo site where they had Mario's bio that they listed that he used to be a plumber. So he was essentially not really with his occupation, like his general occupation. But that seemed to be changed now. Nintendo did update the bio on his official Japanese website, and the updated line translated from Japanese reads, his occupation is plumber. However, his activity is not confined to that area. So, yes, Mario could easily possibly be, I mean, we all know that he dabbles in other occupations, whether it's sports or, you know, making ridiculously hard levels for us to get through. So,
I have one thing to say to this. Who the heck cares? Who the heck cares? I don't get it. Like, does it really matter if he has a job or not? Like,
well,
Mario.
Would you rather have Mario the accountant?
Well, I like just trying to keep continuity with the Super Mario Bros. Movie.
No, not necessarily. That predated before that, though. He was a plumber before that. Mario the accountant. Yes, just let him do my taxes. I'll help you do my taxes. I'll help you do your taxes, please. So
they'll make a game out of that. Don't you worry.
TurboTax with Mario.
He's done everything else. Why not? Yeah, like I don't.
It's canon now. That's all. Like, it's officially canon now. He's back to being a plumber. He's back to being a license. He's got his license to plumb back. So, no, that
until we get like Mario's plumbing simulator, it doesn't really make a difference if he's a plumber or not. I don't really.
Do you really want to go that deep with the plumbing simulator? I'm just sure.
I mean, if they're gonna push that he's a plumber, you know, in his bio now, like, oh, is he still a plumber? Don't you worry, don't panic, people. He's still a plumber. Like, what does it matter? What does it really matter? At the end of the day, I don't get it.
It's an interesting little factoid to me. I mean, if somebody would have told me that Link's occupation before he decided to, you know, become the chosen hero of like with the Triforce piece of courage, he was like, I don't know, a valet or something. I don't know, a valet, or he was just a bartender, something alike. I know he's a kid, but whatever. It's
yeah, he would be a very good bartender though, because most bartenders talk. Link doesn't. So.
Yeah, he would be a very bad, but yeah, you know, it's like if you want to talk to him, like you're out of luck. I'm sorry, it's just not the great. People told me an old job, whatever. I should become a bartender, and I was like, why is that? And I mean, it's like, well, you like to talk a lot, and I was like, yeah, I like to talk.
That's the qualification you need.
Well, that was a person at my other job, my current job. They told me that, and I thought like I could do that, but then also it's like I have a very low tolerance for different types of people. But then again, that's just whatever. But yeah, Mario is a plumber. It's officially canon. Don't worry. So. But this does bring us to our final bit of news, and it's really a bit of a controversy regarding around the, well, as you know, the Switch celebrated its 1-year anniversary on March 3rd. Leading up to that, several people from in Australia started to report that several Switch users in Australia started to report that their playtime data on the Switch was resorting back to 0. So right when the day happened, like, so everybody thought this was just like an isolated incident, just of one user, but now apparently many Switches across the globe right now are experiencing this bug. So this is again leading to another, like, okay, it's the same type of issues that, I don't know, it's more and more issues that are piling up right now that I feel like there aren't a lot, but it's just like little annoying things.
It's lots of little things, like little growing pains that they're going through. Yeah, it's interesting. I don't really care for play times as much. I can just say, yeah, I played this a lot. But I know for some people, it's like that's them. It's their they want to be able to say or show. Look, I played this game. It's like a badge of honor to some people. I played this for so long. You know, this is how long I played it for. And the fact it's being taken away due to this bug, yeah, it kind of sucks. I hope it gets fixed soon, and I kind of hope they change the whole the way they do the whole playtime thing is weird because I've not yet come across that. I've not crossed the threshold. Like right now, it just says I've played this for a while. I've played this for a while. Like, how do I get this to say I've played this for so long a time? You know what I mean? It's not telling me how long I'm playing these games for. It just says, oh, you played it for a while, and that's it. No, that doesn't help me. But yeah, it is what it is. I mean,
well, it is to me, but it just I do feel. I do long for a bit of an. I mean, the activity log in the 3DS was just amazing. And like we had a lot of fun in our little issue that we did, like our feature where we just looked past the well, not like past, but basically just looked at our activity log. It was fun, and people even said like, "Hey, I spent this amount of hours on activity log." That was even listed on there. It was that fun to actually look at. And I really do hope they actually implement something on the profile like this because I do like a real. I mean, it started out really low, where after like 10 days, your information is not listed until after 10 days you start playing the game. And then after that, it started doing in 5-hour increments. But then they changed it down to 1 hour increment. Like I think they changed it down to 1 hour increments, but. Step up. But Nintendo did address this probably in several tweets, thankfully, afterwards. On March 5th, they tweeted out, some Nintendo Switch owners' play activity info is displaying incorrectly, but play activity is still being recorded accurately in the background. A future system update will resolve this issue and ensure playtime data is correctly displayed. We apologize for the inconvenience. So it's still there in the background. It's not showing correctly. So if this means the Switch Update 5.0 means that this is going to be a slew of more options coming towards everything. So who knows?
I love the fact they had to say we apologise for the inconvenience. It's like it's only playtime to Nintendo. I don't think I was going to lose any sleep over playtimes, but there you go. Yeah. But
any more? I don't know. Any more thoughts on this though?
Not really. It's just. The Switch is still a growing device. I know it's been out for a year now, but Nintendo's always been kind of slow to get things rolling with, especially when you look at the Wii U. It took forever to get to a workable OS. You know what I mean? It took forever to be like, oh, this is actually a one-planet system now because it actually works. I this is going to be a non-issue in the future, so I'm not really too worried about it.
But still, I mean, it's good to actually see. I don't know. It's good that this is getting hopefully resolved. But again, let's hopefully this doesn't lead. I mean, I had a friend of mine who had a bit of a. There was not a meltdown. No, about a year ago, he lost about 10 hours of his Breath of the Wild save data because, well, the reason why is he couldn't scan amiibos in there for you couldn't scan any of them the Zelda amiibos to get your daily, basically the daily goods that you give that would reset after a day.
Okay.
And apparently the reason it did that was, well, it was because of a daylight savings time. It was a bug in the system and then he had to restart his entire system update to clear that whole thing out. So, yeah, that was a bit of a nightmare scenario. But, yeah, I don't know. But still, hopefully things like this get fixed because, again, there's been rumors relayed about Switch 5.0, System Update 5.0, and what it's going to entail. And I don't know. I'll try not to get my hopes up too much. But that does bring us to the end of the Nintendo news and does bring us to the end of the show. Reminder, though, if you do want to contribute to our Super Topic segment, you can do so by joining our Patreon at patreon.com/NintendoVoice. And for as low as $1, you can contribute Super Topics to our show. Yep. Any topic based on the world of Nintendo or what we like in the world of gaming. Anything out there. But again,
anything goes. That's the beauty of it.
Anything indeed. And when it comes down to it or whatever, again, you can visit us at patreon.com/NintendoVoice. Also, if you want to leave us a review on iTunes, do so there. We will. If you leave us there, we'll read it out on the air, and also rate us as well. And also, don't forget to like and subscribe this video, and share and subscribe to us on YouTube. We want you all the more the merrier. But before though we do go, we're gonna have some contact details. And Colin, where can everybody reach you in the world of the internet and on Switch?
Oh, well, okay. So you can find myself on Twitter at Harley and Bard, which is probably how you think it's spelled. But if you want to find my Switch friend code, and friend code is just horrendous, go to my Twitter page. It's my pinned tweet. It's right at the top. There's a picture of it, nice and clear. My friend code is there. The only way you can find me is I stream. I stream on Mixer, mixer.com/HarleyandBard. I'm going through Mario right now. So Mario Odyssey, it's a lot of fun. So if you want to see Mario Odyssey, if you want to see my shock and my kind of my like current thoughts on Mario Odyssey as I'm going through the game, you can find me there on Mixer. So yeah, that's it.
Fun stuff. Fun stuff. Be sure to do that. I still need to actually check out your streams a little bit here more. It just times don't match up for me. It seems like.
Yeah, no, that's fine. No, don't worry about it.
But as for me, you can reach me on Twitter at hmilfeld, and if you want to become my Switch friend, profile's pinned on the top of my profile. But without further ado, though, that does bring us to the end of the show. And from all of us, this has been Nintendo Voice. We'll see y'all next week with the full crew.
Yeah, take care, everyone. Bring back Lewis.
All right. See y'all later, everybody. Take care.